Good morning. Happy Monday. The last video that I posted, which all of one person has watched, but still, um, I I posted on Thursday, and I have been trying to do this daily. And the reason for that was just that I had this small surgical removal of my moles on my face that you can see in my other videos. On Friday, and because of that, it looked like I'd been gone in the round a couple of times with the WWF, which reminds me. So I just let the weekend kind of do its healing process and got back to you on Monday. But the WWF reminds me of a theme that I have in the women's group that I've been going to called Women of Grace, and uh, the leader of the group brought up what we're doing for the next 6 months essentially is kind of an exercise like in WWF, because it's called Women Who Forgive. So it's going to be quite a long study on that and process, and I'm looking very forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be good. So I'll share if there's things, that come up that apply to our reading. I will definitely share what we're learning there. Now, we are on the second chapter of second chapter of Second Samuel. Yep, sure enough. So let's get into it. We have, in the course of time, David inquired of the Lord, "Shall I go up to one of the towns of Judah?" he asked. The Lord said, "Go up." David asked, "Where shall I go?" So David is really inquiring of the Lord, just, you know, step by step. I love it. "To Hebron," the Lord answered. So David went up there with his two wives, Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. This is starting to sound familiar. I was pretty sure that my last video, at least I listed it as chapter 1 of Second Samuel. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah. No. I'm making a video. So just so you know, you're on it. Okay. Um. Anyway, so I just wanted to double check because it sounded like I'd read this before, but it says that my last video was of chapter 1 of Second Samuel, so I'm on chapter 2. Um. Then the men of Judah came to Hebron, and there they anointed King David king over the tribe of Judah. Okay. And in case you missed that verse before, verse 3 says David also took the men who were with him, each with his family, and they settled in Hebron and its towns. So they're settled there. Then the men of Judah came to Hebron, and there they anointed King David king over the tribe of Judah. This is when it happens. This is when he becomes King David in Hebron, king over the tribe of Judah. Remember Lion of Judah? Yeah, it was just in reference to Jesus. So this is a big deal because this is where, the lineage, David is the king. That obviously doesn't make him, it's the fact that David is David that makes him in the lineage of Jesus. But he has a big role being king over Judah. When David was told that it was the men from Jabesh, I've heard it pronounced Jabesh, Gilead, who had buried Saul, he sent messengers to them to say to them, "The Lord bless you for showing this kindness to Saul, your master, by burying him. May the Lord now show you kindness and faithfulness, and I too will show you the same favor because you have done this. Now then, be strong and brave, for Saul, your master, is dead, and the people of Judah have anointed me king over them. Meanwhile, Abner, son of Ner, the commander of Saul's army, had taken Ishbosheth, son of Saul, and brought him over to Mahanaim. He made him king over Gilead. Was this? Okay, Ishbosheth. Okay. He made him king over Gilead, Ashuri, and Jezreel, and also over Ephraim, Benjamin, and all Israel. Okay, so he's actually appointing people himself now. Ishbosheth, son of Saul, was 40 years old when he became king over Israel, and he reigned 2 years. So this is interesting. So Ishbosheth was the actual king of Israel, but David was the king over the tribe of Judah. So that's interesting. I hadn't really realized I hadn't sunk in before. And then it says, the tribe of Judah, however, remained loyal to David. The length of time David was king in Hebron over Judah was 7 years and 6 months. Abner, son of Ner, together with the men of Ishbosheth, son of Saul, left Mahanaim and went to Gibeon. Joab, son of Zeruiah, and David's men went out and met them at the pool of Gibeon. One group sat down on one side of the pool, and one group on the other side. Then Abner said to Joab, "Let's have some of the young men get up and fight hand to hand in front of us." "All right, let them do it," Joab said. So they stood up and were counted off, 12 men for Benjamin and Ishbosheth, son of Saul, and 12 for David. Then each man grabbed his opponent by the head and thrust his dagger into his opponent's side. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. And they fell down together. So that place in Gibeon was called Helkath Hazurim. The battle that day was very fierce, and Abner and the Israelites were defeated by David's men. So here they are fighting the Israelites. Okay, the 3 sons of Zeruiah. Well, you could tell that they were kind of choosing sides, because it says the people in Judah were loyal to David, and but David appointed Abner the king. So I thought that this was like a situation that was, what do you call it? Partnership type thing. Okay. Let me just double check. Meanwhile, Abner, son of Ner, I might have read that wrong, or I might have computed it wrong. Meanwhile, Abner, son of Ner, the commander of Saul's army, had taken Ishbosheth, son of Saul, and brought him over to Mahanaim. Oh, somehow I thought it was David. Okay, it wasn't David. It was Abner who appointed Ishbosheth as king. So they're basically, acting against David, because David has already been appointed king. He was appointed king over Judah specifically, but I'll have to do a little reading up on that. Okay, so that's when Abner decided to make Ishbosheth king over Gilead, Ashuri, and Jezreel, and also Ephraim, Benjamin, and then it says all Israel. It's excluding Judah. Okay, so let's keep going. The 3 sons, then it says the battle that day was very fierce. Okay, we know that the 3 sons of Zeruiah were there: Joab, Abishai, and Asahel. Now, Asahel was as fleet-footed as a wild gazelle. He chased Abner, turning neither to the right nor to the left as he pursued him. Abner looked behind him and asked, "Is that you, Asahel?" "It is," he answered. Then Abner said to him, "Turn aside to the right or to the left. Take on one of the young men and strip him of his weapons." But Asahel would not stop chasing him. Again, Abner warned Asahel, "Stop chasing me. Why should I strike you down? How could I look your brother Joab in the face?" But Asahel refused to give up the pursuit, so Abner thrust the butt of his spear into Ashahel's stomach, and the spear came out through his back. It's a pretty gory chapter. He fell there and died on the spot, and every man stopped when he came to the place where Asahel had fallen and died. But Joab and Abishai pursued Abner, and as the sun was setting, they came to the hill of Ammah near Giah on the way to the wasteland of Gibeon. Then the men of Benjamin rallied behind Abner. They formed themselves into a group and took their stand on top of a hill. Abner called out to Joab, must the sword devour forever? Don't you realize that this will end in bitterness? How long before you order your men to stop pursuing their fellow Israelites? That's what I said. Joab answered, as surely as God lives, if you had not spoken, the men would have continued pursuing them until morning. So Joab blew the trumpet, and all the troops came to a halt. Oh, man, made a big difference. And they no longer pursued Israel, nor did they fight anymore. All that night, Abner and his men marched through the Arabah. They crossed the Jordan, continued through the morning hours, and came to, excuse me, Mahanaim. Then Joab stopped pursuing Abner and assembled the whole army. Besides Asahel, 19 of David's men were found missing. But David's men had killed 360 Benjamites who were with Abner. They took Asahel and buried him in his father's tomb at Bethlehem. Then Joab and his men marched all night and arrived at Hebron by daybreak. Okay, that's all of chapter 2. I'm going to conclude because I'm out of time. I don't have much time to make commentary, but I also needed to kind of read up on this. I think this is going to be like an example of, the fact that David walked away and kind of did his own thing there for a while, remember? And he stayed among the Philistines and, just the consequences of that, this divided kingdom kind of thing. So that's my guess of what's going on here. I'm sorry for the, I'm like, I read this a while ago now, and I didn't remember that this is what happened, but I'll try to kind of, make some comments, some more well-informed comments on it. And so excuse the interruption. I should have told my son that I was getting ready to videotape. And at some point, I will learn how to edit. And that will take care of things like that anyway. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope you got a chance to read along, and do make comments of your own in the comments below if you so are inclined. I would love that. All right, see you tomorrow.